Skin the Hardaway, Southern T, back with another EP. And first thing I want to say is good morning to everybody on this Saturday morning. Hope everybody's Saturday going good, mine going great. Uh, this morning I'm here with a little different EP. Normally, just the fight weekend where I come in, I do the marathons and shit about, we go in for the fights. This week, we ain't really got too many fights, not too many even worth, marathon and 4 today. So, today I'm gonna give y'all, a regular EP. I'm gonna give y'all a regular EP day, regular T day. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everybody coming through this. Done shout out my guy Yoda. Let me say what's up to the people in the building first. Shout out my guy Yoda was good. Shout out my guy Demi Man was good. Demi Man. Shout out my guy Ghost. Appreciate you sliding through this young Ghost. Glad y'all could make it. Did y'all get ads on the way in? If y'all didn't already, do me a favor. Hit that like button for your boy. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you to those 3 subs that I got yesterday. Shout out to those 3 people who subscribed to the channel yesterday. Greatly appreciate y'all. Greatly appreciate y'all for subscribing to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that bell icon. Make sure y'all hit that bell icon when y'all roll on in. But today, this Southern T is about. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right. Today, this Southern T is about David Benavidez, Conor Benn, Tank Davis, and Canelo Alvarez. Southern T, what you mean? Southern T, what you mean good? But you could do better. Y'all know Southern T don't drop nothing that I don't explain. So I'm about to explain what the fuck that I'm talking about, as I always do. As I always do. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. Y'all hit that like button for your boy when y'all roll on in. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Hit that like button. All right. Damn. I'm going to get my charge. Just do what's good. What's good? Let me get my charge. All right. Okay. What's good? Shout out my boy Just Do. Appreciate you sliding through this jump. What's good, y'all? It's good with y'all good folks. But hell yeah. So this Southern T right here is about, some good fighters. Some good fighters. This ain't no hate Southern T. This ain't the throw no salt here. This ain't the throw no salt there. Or no shit like this. I'm about to be under my damn truck for sure. No, this ain't no salt throwing T. I think every fighter in this picture right here is a good fighter. I don't even talk about fighters that's not good on Southern T. If you ain't noticed, if I feel like a fighter trash, I'm not even giving them a segment. I'm not giving them, a fucking platform. I'm not giving them. I'm not putting them on. I'm not letting nobody see them. So if I talk about you, it's either because I think you good or the world views you as good. You know what I mean? But this particular Southern Tea is about people who I think are good and who the world view as good, but who I personally want more out of. Everybody you see up here, I want more out of. You know what I mean? I want more out of everybody up here in this photo. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to tell you why with each person. And I'm going to start with Carter Ben. And I'm starting with Carter Ben because I believe that Carter Ben, at least over here in the USA, is, maybe the least known guy in the photo, just over here in the USA. But over in the UK, Carter Ben is huge. Over in the UK, Carter Ben may be bigger than all these guys, outside of Canelo, you know what I'm saying, type deal. But over here stateside, Carter Ben is the guy that I think is good. You know what I mean? I seen Carter Ben come up from, almost being pedestrian. Like, I ain't gonna say almost. Carter Ben, first few fights, if you go watch his first few fights, they look real pedestrian. They almost look like he don't even belong in the ring. Look like another boxer's son who's just parading the name around, trying to get a little juice, trying to get a little clout off their father's name or their family name. Ali Wash, kind of like the Haddon boy looking right now, kind of like motherfucking what's the other guy name that had the son, Hector Camacho Jr. You know what I mean? In the beginning, Carter Ben looked like, just another name in a long line of juniors, who didn't do well, who didn't succeed, who never really got over the top. You know what I mean? But from Carter Ben's first 10 fights and Carter Ben's, let's say, last 10 fights, and in particular, the last 5 fights, I've seen in the last 2 fights, to get even deeper, I've seen drastic improvement of Carter Ben's fighting ability, his tool set, his skill set, toolbox, all that good shit. I've seen a drastic increase in Carter Ben. Just 2 fights ago, Carter Ben was, against Adrian Granados. He was real wild, out of control, looking for a knockout. The fight before Adrian Granados, he got a knockout in the first round, like the blink of an eye. He knocked out Sammy Vargas in the blink of an eye. You know what I mean? Then he came out in the fight against Adrian Granados, and he seemed like he was rushing. He was trying to take Adrian Granados' head off. He was throwing a lot of punches, but he was throwing a lot of wild punches, trying to get Granados out of there. Granados did a lot of, he used way more movement than I ever seen Granados use in the fight in his career. I was surprised by that. But Carter Ben wasn't patient enough in that fight with Adrian Granados. You know what I mean? And just from the fight from Granados to Chris Algieri, I saw a whole different Carter Ben. I saw a Carter Ben that was much more patient. I saw a Carter Ben with much, much better head movement than he displayed, throughout his career and in that fight with Adrian Granados. You know what I mean? So just from fight to fight, me personally, I've been highly impressed with Carter Ben, judging Carter Ben against himself and himself only. From his first 10 to his last 10 and fight to fight, Carter Ben is ever improving. But Carter Ben is one of those guys who I feel like, because he has that name, that Ben name, that Carter Ben name, people are going to expect a lot out of Carter Ben. You know what I mean? Carter Ben is only 24 years old. You know what I mean? But with his name being Carter Ben, with that Carter Ben mystique, with that Ben name mystique, with him being one of the biggest faces, one of the biggest names in the UK by default, just because of who his father is, there's a lot put on Carter Ben. There's a lot of pressure put on Carter Ben. You know what I mean? But I think Carter Ben is over here in America, we feel like those UK guys aren't really, up to par with us. We feel like they don't really, stack up, because throughout history, over time, it has been shown that, when they come over here, they don't necessarily do as good as they do, over there on their side. You know what I mean? But I think Conor Benn is going to be one of those young fighters that breaks their trench. That I don't defend the bridge, but Conor Benn is young in his career and fighting same level guys is in that. Yep. I agree with that. But because Conor Benn is who he is, because Conor Benn is who he is, he gets a lot of criticism. It's like we want to push Conor Benn to the forefront. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know Conor Benn didn't have much of an amateur career type deal. I feel like we want to push him up to the forefront a little early, and I got no problem with it. Because his last couple fights, he's shown drastic improvement to where I think Conor Benn is ready, for the guys at the top. I think he is ready for those, young elite prospects or those top boxers at 147. I personally think he do. Like my guy Ghost just said, he's young in his career and he's fighting the same, level of opponents as Boots or Virgil. But Boots or Virgil, seem to get, a lot of praise. They seem to get, a lot of this, a lot of that for, I guess, calling out these big fights, but they haven't actually got inside of the ring to actually fight. No fight bigger than Conor Benn. You know what I mean? If you really look at it, Virgil Ortiz has a win over Mean Machine. The biggest win out of all of them may be Chris Algieri. Boots has a win over Delorme. You know what I mean? So the biggest win out of them may be Chris Algieri. You know what I mean? But Conor Benn is at that time in his career where I think that he's good enough to be in there with, the B class, the A class fighters, you know what I mean? The elite top of the division, top 10 of the division fighters. I think he's hit that point in his career where he's got his skill and he's got himself together to where he's supposed to be up there. So by this, what I'm saying is you are good, Conor Benn. You are good. I'm a believer, but you could do better. I want you to make everybody else a believer, not just me. I'm a believer in you, Conor Benn. But it's time now after this fight with Chris Van Heerden, and I understand the Van Heerden fight. I know you tried to get Brook first. You know what I mean? And I see you calling out Josh Taylor. So I see you taking them steps to actually do just what I'm saying, to do a little better. But after this fight with Chris Van Heerden, I think it's time that we get Conor Benn in there in that 50-50 fight. It's time that we get Conor Benn in there with that guy, that's going to really give him the respect that I think he deserves. That's going to give him the respect. That's going to push him over the top and get him to where I think he needs to be. Conor Benn, I think after your next fight with Chris Van Heerden, it's time. It's time for you to take that step up in competition, and it's time for you, to show these people that you are what I think you are, or that you are what you believe you are. You know what I mean? Because Conor Benn, you got that Benn name. You already got people who doubt you, who tell you that you ain't your daddy. Now that good shit you this, you that. You only hype because of your daddy, type deal. So I think now, after this Van Heerden fight, I think now is the time. It's time for Conor Benn to take that step-up fight and show guys, it is what it is. That Conor Benn fought higher-level opponents than Virgil Ortiz. Which champions did Virgil beat? True. Conor Benn is the least experienced, and he is doing the heaviest lifting. Also true. That boy is the least experienced. Them facts. So Conor Benn, I know you good. There's a lot of people out here who know you good. I want you to show the world that you good in this fight after Chris Van Heerden. No more Chris Van Heerdens after this Conor Benn. No more Chris Van Heerden. From here, you only go up. You know what I mean? People forget. People jump on this Chris Van Heerden fight, but then forget Jerome Boots Ennis, for Chris Van Heerden. What's good, folks? UK. Appreciate you sliding through this, John. Folks. I'm saying after this fight with Chris Van Heerden, then I want to see Conor, take that next step. You good, but you could do better, bro. You good, but you can do better, and I know that you will do better. I believe in you, Conor. I know you go do better. I know that you ain't have an amateur career. I know that you go put these guys on your on the list eventually. You get what I mean? But after this fight with Van Heerden, it's time for you to take that step up fight. The second name I want to hit on real quick on this list, Tank Davis. Tank Davis. Now, we all know Tank is a bad motherfucker. We all know Tank a bad motherfucker. We all know Tank got that KO power. They should. I agree with that votes, UK. I agree with that votes. Virgil Ortiz versus Conor Benn would be a hell of a fight. I agree with it. That will be a hell of a fight. I agree with it. The next name on this list, we got Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a natural talent. You can see it in him. We can see Tank Davis' skills, next level, power, next level, defense, next level, star power, next level. You know what I mean? Tank is one of those guys who have always oozed greatness. He's always bled greatness. You know what I mean? Always bled greatness. The thing with Tank is people ask Tank, we want to see you in there with your equal. We want to see you in there with somebody, you know, that gets us on the edge of our seat. We want to see you in there with somebody, you know, who we think that you may lose against. You know what I mean? Tank Davis has a fight coming up with Rolly Romero, right? Now, we all fully expect Tank Davis to beat Rolly Romero. I know it. I damn sure do expect Tank Davis to beat Rolly Romero. Don't think the shit gonna be close at all. You know what I mean? So you go in there. You take care of your business, Rolly Romero. You know, that on it. But after this fight with Rolly Romero, Tank Davis, for as good as you about, I mean, for as good as you are, Tank Davis, we has yet to see you in there with anybody that we think you may lose to. We have yet to see you in there with a name, you know, as big as yours. We have yet to see you in there with somebody whose profile is at least half of what yours is. You know what I mean? We have yet to see Tank in there with people whose skill level is at least half of his. Now we've seen them in there with guys who are physically more bigger than him, which give us some kind of suspense. Mario Barrios, you know what I mean? But no one expected Mario Barrios to beat Tank. I expected him to give him a fight, you know, given it being his first fight at 140, given Mario Barrios being a tough guy. You know, there's the Gamboa fight that Tank got, you know, back when he stopped Gamboa. He has a Pedraza win. That probably would be his best win. That joint aging like fine wine. That win versus Pedraza. But like today, speaking of here, going forward, we can't have, you know, Tank Davis in the ring with no more Rolly Romero's. We can't take Tank Davis in there with no more Isaac Cruz's. Although I don't believe Isaac Cruz is a bad fighter. I just don't believe he's, you know, on Tank's level. You know what I mean? Isaac Cruz, actually, he's not on Tank's level. He was a top 10 fighter when Tank fought him, but he wasn't even the guy that was supposed to get that fight with Tank. It was Rolly Romero, you know, when they put Isaac in there, which actually was a harder fight than I think Rolly Romero would be. You know what I mean? But I didn't think Isaac was going to beat Tank. Never did I ever once thought Isaac was going to beat Tank. You know what I mean? I think people just want to see Devin, you know, I mean, not Devin. I think people just want to see Tank challenge himself a bit more. We're not necessarily asking him, because like my guy Go said, there's not many people just really on Tank's level. You know what I mean? But we would like to see Tank in there with somebody who's in or around his level. You know what I mean? I don't think Tank has been tested in the sense where he's fought a guy, you know, in and around his level. Like Tank has fought at 130, he's fought at 135, and he's fought at 140, which has given him ample, room to fight, bigger names, better guys. You know what I mean? He ain't out here fighting tomato cans. I don't think Barrios is a tomato. It's a tomato can. I don't think Gamboa is a tomato can. I think I think Rolly a tomato can though, you know, but I understand how the business of that go. What's good, Jelly Bean? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Jelly Bean. Glad you can make it, Jelly Bean. Glad you can make it. He said that Devin Loma and George not just signed 3-fight deal, which puts them out of the picture for a year and a half. True. You know, I think Rolling Tomato can, but I know Tank, you the business. G5 was good, G5. Tank, I know you that nigga, you know, I know you got that work. I know you the business. You know what I mean? I know you're not scared of these guys. But as far as like, you know, public perception, at least the haters and shit, you know, you got your fans, you got your diehard boxing fans, and then you got your haters and shit. You know, it's always it's a mix, right? You got diehard boxing fans, you got your fans, and you got the haters. You know what I mean? To silence what from here on out, Tank, after this Rolly Romero fight, to silence them critics, to silence them haters, to really solidify your name amongst the great, because we can see that you have, you know, amongst the great talent. You know, Tank, I just talked about, you know, Conor Benn taking that next step. Tank is, you know, has more natural talent, you know, than Conor Benn. We could see that Tank Davis is probably one of the most natural talented people in the game to help pick up some gloves. But what the people are asking, and what I'm asking for Tank Davis from here on out, you good, but we know you could do better. We know you could be better. Just like Conor Benn, you good, ever improving, but we know you could do better, and we want you to do better. You know what I mean? So after Rolly Romero, after Chris Van Heerden, you know, I don't want to see Tank, or I don't want to see Conor Benn fighting any more Rolly Romero or any more Chris Van Heerden. You know what I mean? Y'all have got Tank Davis have got to the point in his career where he's putting it all together. He's putting it all together. We need to see Tank in there with the best of the best of the best. If you go move through divisions, you know, like you're doing, cool. But I need you to start today, from today forward. Not talking about none that you did back then. From today forward, I need to see you only fighting the top guys at those divisions. Only fighting the top guys at those divisions. You know what I mean? A lot of guys at 130, a lot of guys at 135. Like you dibbling now to 140. You know what I mean? Tank, you good, but you could do better. So I want to move on. To David Benavidez. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think David Benavidez is that good. Me personally, don't think he's that good. I think he got power, and I think he got quick hands. That's God-given. He got power, and he got quick hands. I don't think he's very good. I think David Benavidez has been shining due to strictly the level of his competition. If you look at this list up here, I think it's crazy how David Benavidez gets so much credit, and a guy like Conor Benn gets talked so bad about, or a guy like Tank Davis get talked so bad about, when Conor Benn and Tank Davis resumes are better than motherfucking David Lemieux. I mean, are better than motherfucking David Benavidez, or look just like David Benavidez. What I don't get is, how does David Benavidez get all this love and all this credit for being, you know, this knockout artist, the Mexican monster, African-American killer? How does he get all this credit? And this guy has literally fought no one. He fought an old Andre Dirrell. That's the only person he's fought. That's the only person he's fought, an old Andre Dirrell. Everybody else, journeyman, trash can, journeyman. You get what I mean? So I don't think David Benavidez is that good. I think Conor Benn is pretty damn good. I think Tank is elite. David Benavidez, you have to show me. The people think that you're good, David, which is why you made this list. I'm hearing that you're good. He telling me you're good. She telling me you're good. He telling me you're good. She telling me you're good. They think you're the best fighter in the world. He think you're the best fighter in the world. This guy think you knock everybody out. This guy think you knock everybody out. Me personally, I only seen you knock out nobody. I seen you TKO a couple guys that came up from 154, 160. I seen you TKO them. I haven't seen David Benavidez do nothing worth the praise that he's been given, outside of stepping into the ring and putting nuts to guts and actually just being a boxer, which I give you credit for For people to tell me that you this boogeyman and people fear you and nobody wants to fight you, I haven't seen you put in enough work to do that. I haven't watched you put enough guys to sleep to even believe that, because you don't get. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all hit that like button for me. Y'all share the video. Y'all tell a friend and tell a friend. Appreciate y'all sliding in this junk. Don't just be in this motherfucker watching. I know I got 10 people in here right now, and I only got 10 likes. I know more than 10 people that been through here total. Y'all don't tell me only 10 people been through here total. Don't just slide through my shit in the morning and don't hit my motherfucking like button. Ghost said David in the video remind me of Diego Corrales. And I'm going to tell you, Ghost, I disagree. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he got nuts like Diego Corrales. Diego Corrales will fight anybody. Diego Corrales did fight anybody. Diego Corrales fought Floyd Mayweather when everybody else was scared to fight Floyd Mayweather. I'm never calling David Benavidez Diego Corrales because he's not that fucking good. I think that's disrespectful to Diego Corrales to put him and David Benavidez in the same sentence. David Benavidez hasn't fought half the people that Diego Corrales fought. David Benavidez haven't showed. He said, nah, forget the talent. I'm talking from the physical side. Okay, well, maybe. Yeah, I can see that one. But see, you got guys calling you Diego Corrales, and I damn sure don't think you that good. You got guys calling you Diego Corrales, and I damn sure don't think you that good. After you fight, 8 Sports Talk was good. After you fight David Lemieux, David Benavidez, if you gonna have people telling me that you Diego Corrales, you gonna have people telling me that you the next big thing, you gonna have people telling me that you one of the most feared men in boxing, I need you to fight somebody who actually stand a chance to be in the ring with you. I need you to fight somebody who actually ranked in the top 10 like you. I need you to fight somebody who actually is in your actual weight class. I need you to actually fight somebody who's not going to have to come in on a 2-week notice. You know what I mean? Karan Davis came in on a 2-week notice. You fighting David Lemieux right now. David Lemieux hadn't had a fight in about a year and a half. David Lemieux ain't been relevant in about 2 years and a half. How y'all telling me this guy is a killer when the best name on his resume is old Andre Dirrell, which was beating him up and he got cut? Old Andre Dirrell. It's the best name on his resume, and that fight got stopped off a cut. And Andre Dirrell came up from 160. You know what I mean? He has yet to fight a natural 168-pounder. His best win is old Dirrell, and he about to fight David Lemieux. But y'all keep telling me this guy is next. This guy is this guy is that. Dave Benavidez. The people think you good. I don't think you're that good. I think you're average, and I think you go get exposed when you fight somebody who's on your level, or when you fight somebody, or when you actually fight one of these guys that you calling out. Dave Benavidez calls out a lot of people. Don't fight a lot of people. I think when you actually fight one of these names that you calling out, Caleb Plant, Andrade, Charlo, you know, the names that you clout chase, I think when you actually fight one of them, you're going to lose. So after David Lemieux, David Benavidez, you good, but you could do a whole lot better. You feel me? So after David Lemieux, no more David Lemieux. You good, but you could do a whole lot better. Now, I want to move to Canelo. Y'all hit that like button. I want to move to Canelo. Y'all hit my like button. Finna pour me a cup. Now I want to move to Canelo. Back. Now I want to talk about. Now I want to talk about Canelo. It's finna get good. I'm finna tell you. It's finna get good. I got two. I got a Southern T coming up after this one. I'm just Canelo. Now Canelo. That Canelo needs to fight his mandatory on Andrade after Andrade becomes a WBO interim champ. Now Canelo. My boy. Now Canelo is seen worldwide. Canelo is seen worldwide right now as the face of boxing. Canelo is seen worldwide right now as the best boxer in the game right now. Now, at a point in time, I would have agreed with this. There was a point in time where I was just just as big a Canelo fan as the next guy. Be real with you, probably even a bigger Canelo fan than the next guy. The first time that Canelo Alvarez fought Triple G, I went on my Facebook. I went to my Facebook group and I asked my group, hey, y'all, can y'all let me be Mexican for just one day so we could get this motherfucking Triple G hype job out the motherfucking way and we could get back to talking about the real. I was just as big a Canelo fan as anybody. You know what I mean? Before the Triple G thing happened. Because he was fighting everybody in front of him. He had done a bunch of fights early in his career that, I didn't know those people. But once Canelo got over here in America, once he got ingratiated and he got his feet wet for real, once Canelo got over here, he got ingratiated and he got his feet wet for real. Canelo was running through motherfuckers. He was running through motherfuckers. You know what I mean? If you look at Canelo Alvarez's resume, like before 2016, before 2017, that boy was on pace. That boy was on a world beating pace, world record beating pace. You know what I mean? Shane Mosley, Lara, Trap, Floyd, Cotto, Danny Jacobs, motherfucking, like just names on names, bro. You know what I mean? And then the second Triple G fight happened. The steroid thing happened, and that's when my vision changed on Canelo. But Canelo is still seen as the face of boxing, one of the best fighters today, still to this day. Now, Canelo is one of those guys. I got Canelo in here for a reason. Now, I know a lot of people gonna think, oh, well, you just a hater. You don't like Canelo, blah, blah, blah. You're racist, all that good shit. You hate Canelo, all that good shit. When the title clearly says good, but you can do better. Now, I'm not knocking what Canelo Alvarez has done to be good. I'm not knocking it. But the last time that he was consistently good, the last time that he was consistently, running through guys is that time that I just mentioned, all those years ago with those guys that I just mentioned. Since that Triple G saga, since that Triple G fight, Canelo has been real choicy, about who to fight, when to fight them, even what division to fight in. You know what I mean? He just been making some moves, that seemed kind of funny to me. Now, if you strictly a diehard Canelo fan, then this might not click to you, because, you know, a lot of people, when they diehards, you know, they can't necessarily see. They're not necessarily thinking clearly. They're not necessarily thinking with an unbiased mind. You can only see this guy, especially this black man, talking about your favorite fighter. You know what I mean? You can only see it past that much. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying that Canelo is a bad fighter. What I'm saying is that I think he could do better. I think he's a lot better than what he's putting on. Just like my sentiment with everybody in here, except for David Benavidez, because I don't think he's that good. Really don't think he's a hype job. But Canelo is in the same boat with Tank and Conor Benn as far as me personally. Everybody up here is seen as a good boxer. They seen as a threat, but I want more out of them. I don't think David Benavidez is that good. I think Canelo is fucking elite. I think Tank is fucking elite. I think Conor Benn is good enough to be fucking elite one day. You know what I mean? I think Benavidez is just waiting to be stopped. But with Canelo, you have all the talent in the world. Anybody with eyes could see that you're one of the best boxers in the world. Anybody with eyes could see that, you know, when you get inside that ring, you know, Canelo Alvarez ain't nothing to be played with. Anybody with eyes can see that shit. You know what I mean? But my problem is, as of late, since Triple G, you haven't been taking the fights that the people want to see. Now, you've been giving us fights. You know, your most recent two have been your best two in about 6 years. You know, Caleb Plant and now Bivol. You know what I mean? Those okay fights, but a lot of people, even your fans, were saying that Caleb Plant sucked, you know, before you fought him. A lot of your people, even your fans, were saying that Dimitri Bivol, you know, was boring and he sucked before you fought him. But I never felt that way. So I'm going to give you a pass, you know, for fighting them too, because I think those fighters are good fighters. But where I'm gonna put my foot down and draw the line is, you haven't been giving the fans and the people the fights that we have been asking for. You know what I mean? When you hear Canelo, you hear a couple names that the fans ask for: Benavidez, Charlo, Andrade. You know what I mean? Those are the fights that we ask for, and people tell me all the time, well, Canelo can fight who he want. He can fight who he want. You know what I mean? So that's even more reason why I'm telling you that you could do better, because I know that you could choose to fight whoever the hell you want, which means if you wanted to make these fan-friendly fights for us, if you wanted to make the fights that the fans have been asking for, Benavidez, Charlo, Andrade, you could. You have, you know, you could do that, but you haven't. You have been fighting Yarden. You've been fighting Calvin Smith, you know, guys like that. And even before then, when we wanted you to fight, you know, the fights that in your division at 160, Andrade, Charlo, you moved up. You know what I'm saying? We was like, okay, well, you're moving up to 168. You will fight David Benavidez. You skipped 168, went straight to 175 to fight Kovalev. Another fight that we didn't ask for, you know, as fans of boxing, as the people. We didn't ask for that. It's like the fights that we asked for, Canelo, you seem to jump around, and it's almost intentional. Benavidez, Charlo, Andrade. It's like you seem to jump around those fights intentionally, and I don't really understand why. So after this fight with Dimitri Bivol, right? Canelo's plan is to move back down in weight to 168 and again fight a fight that we didn't ask for in Triple G3. Canelo is undisputed at 168-pound division. Okay. First question is, why would you lead a division? Okay, people say, well, he's chasing championships, he's chasing gold at 175. Okay, cool. So when you leave the division, you should, what they saying is you should go get undisputed at 175. But that's not what you're doing. You going to 175 to fight, literally fight one fight, and then come back down, and you already got that fight planned out who you go fight when you come back down, which is Triple G who is a guy coming up from 160. So you're the undisputed champion at 168. You leaving the division, but you already said you coming back. But when you come back, you still not fighting the best guys at the 168-pound division. You're not fighting your WBO mandatory and Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. You're not fighting your WBC mandatory interim champ, and David Benavidez. And the WBA has a champion behind you, David Morrell Jr., who's another guy that you could be fighting down there at 168, but you fighting Triple G instead. Canelo, you are good. Now, you, particularly Canelo, you are great. But as of late, post Triple G, you good, but you could be doing a whole lot better. Make sure y'all stay on the lookout for my Southern Tees. It's a Canelo Southern Tee. I'm going to tell y'all the real reason that Canelo is leaving the 168-pound division. And if you was paying close enough attention, then I already told you. So be on the lookout for that jump, which will be coming up shortly. Skinny Hardaway Southern Tee. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.